Defra stopped applications for the Sustainable Farming Incentive 2024, what's happening in America and how will it impact us, and what is bale grazing and could it be good for you? This is your week in farming with me, Farmers Guardian's online editor, Emily Ashworth. Now, let's start with SFI. On Tuesday, March 11th, quite late on in the evening, Defra made an announcement that it was stopping applications for SFI 2024. The industry came out in response. It's going to stop a lot of people from planning. Some people are halfway through, some people were just trying to see how they could make SFI work for them, and they were meant to give us a 6-week notice period. Now, the farming minister, Daniel Zeitner, has come out and said there was no way that they could give us any more warning because the pot of funding is essentially gone. Had they given us that warning, it would have meant an influx of applications for which there would be no money for. Now, it's interesting because Defra are trying to spin it a little bit differently and say, you know, we should be celebrating how many applications are in for SFI and the success of it, but for many it's put another blocker in the road for planning and future-proofing. So we're actually launching a mental health survey due to the announcements from the budget back in October around inheritance tax and now this. How are you feeling about farming and about your farm business now opposed to, you know, pre-budget? It's a really quick survey. We just want to gauge what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and how we can then present this to government and take it a little bit further. So that's on the website. Go and have a look at that. On a brighter note, we have a really fantastic Young Farmer Focus this week from a youngster called James Scott. Now, James Scott is actually a new entrant into dairy because his family were actually in beef and sheep, but he's been farming for the past year after buying his own farm last year, and he's just completed his first autumn block calving. So that's a fantastic insight into kind of the youngsters in our industry and how they are taking the sector forwards. We also have some news from across the pond in America in our special View from the Hill series. We have our American correspondent over there who gives us insights into what's happening in America, and right now obviously that is quite a hot topic. So we've got a piece on Brooke Rollins, the new Agriculture Secretary, but we've also got a special podcast that will be out on Monday with the Farmers Guardian team looking at what the implications of these tariffs will be, you know, on the machinery world, but also on grain markets. So check that out. I mean, from now until then, things are probably going to change, but you know, President Trump, he's making waves, and I think we all have to be aware of how it might impact us. So that's a special one out on Monday. In livestock, we have a special on bale grazing. Now, I don't know if any of you know what bale grazing is, but we have quite a lot of information on the website about bale grazing. It's a practice that's been used in North America and Canada for quite a lot of time now, but the livestock editor Katie Jones speaks to 2 farmers who are using this method and looking at how it's actually benefited them and how it's impacted the farm. So they're looking at the financials, they're looking at nature, and they're looking at the stock. So that's a really interesting one, and make sure you don't miss that. That is out today, the Farmers Guardian podcast. Our next webinar is March 27th, and it's going to unpack the Chancellor's spring statement and also look at inheritance tax once again and how to navigate it. We have a panel of experts that you can put your questions to, and it's absolutely free. So please go and sign up to that via the FG website. You can obviously get all these stories and podcasts straight to your inbox. So if you want to become an FG member and become part of the community, head to the farmersguardian.com and check out the options for you. That's it from me this week, but we'll be back again next week with another Your Week in Farming. But please do let us know your comments or if you have any questions, and we can address them in these videos. Thank you very much for listening, and see you again next week.